What's up? Welcome to the channel. I'm Greg, and today I'm going to be talking about the big 3 items I carried with me on the Appalachian Trail last year for my through hike. All right, let's get into it. Number 1, Z-Packs. Arc Blast 55-liter backpack. This was my backpack of choice for several reasons. Number 1 was the weight. Before I customized it, it was slightly under 20 ounces. After adding the hip belt pockets and a water bottle pocket up top, it came in at roughly 21.5 ounces. So that's hard to beat as far as lightweight backpacks go. This pack also has a frame to it, carbon fiber, that allows you to flex the back of the pack, creating a space between your back and the pack itself so you don't get that swampy feeling on your back. That's the second feature I loved about it. And then the main feature would be the mesh pocket on the outside. It's not tight like some backpacks are. If you get a backpack that has the tight pocket on the back, it looks nice when you pack it full and you look at it all tight to the pack, but it's just not as practical as something that gives more, in my opinion. That's me. And it's not as practical as something that has more holes in it, which lets anything that's wet air quicker. Something to consider when you check out your own packs. Now, this particular pack was made of Dyneema. Now there's a new fabric on the market that's been out for a couple years called Ultra Fabric that is supposedly more durable than Dyneema and just as lightweight. So now Z-Packs offers these packs in both of those materials. I want to say that the Ultra Pack may be a 60 liter instead of a 55, but you can check that out on their website. Either way, you can't go wrong with Z-Packs when it comes to your backpack for your through hike. All right, so number 2, the shelter of choice. For me, it was again a Z-Packs product. This time it's the Plex Solo 1-person tent. I do have a duplex by Z-Packs, a camouflage version, 2-person tent that I got about 4 years ago. I thought about carrying that on my through hike because it only weighs in at roughly 19.5 ounces, but this particular 1-person tent came down to under 16 ounces, slightly less than a pound, with stakes included. It's a 1-pole setup versus 2-pole, which I really enjoy. That way I can set it up quicker in the rain and different things. So it pitches in under a minute. Being made of Dyneema, it's ultra lightweight, as I've already stated, and it is waterproof. So this tent, when it rains the next day, if it stops raining, when you get ready to pack it up, you can wipe it down with something like a ShamWow, which is what I carry with me, to get most of the water off of it. Roll it up, put it in your external pocket on your backpack, and then a couple miles into the hike, when the sun comes out, you could set it out, roll it out, and it would be dry in a matter of 10 to 15 minutes. So you're not carrying all that extra water weight with you. With traditional tents, it's been my experience that they hold more water. So seal nylon tents, seal poly tents tend to soak up a little bit more water in that fabric on the exterior. And then when you pack it up in the morning, you're packing a couple extra pounds with you in water, which you don't want to do. So that's a big advantage when it comes to Dyneema tents. The Plex Solo, you can set up in the center of the tent, but not on the ends. Now, if you're taller, I'm 5'8". If you're taller, you probably want to go with the Altaplex because you have more foot room and more headroom on the ends. So it's something to consider. If you're willing to go above 2 pounds and you really don't care about weight, then the sky's the limit. You can go out and pick tents in that $100 range or less, but you do want something that's going to be durable for the conditions you're going to be under, and you definitely want something that has a high waterproof rating. You don't want to go with something cheap from Walmart that when the rain starts about 2 days in, it's going to start soaking through on you because that'll make you miserable. And the beauty of Dyneema is, again, the rain's not going to soak through. Now, if you don't pitch it right, you may get water in the foot box. That's a different story. But as far as rain coming down and coming in through the fabric itself, that's not going to happen. So, Z-Packs, Plex Solo for my tent. And then finally, for my sleep system, I went with the Enlighten Equipment Revelation Quilt. This is a custom quilt that I ordered in red and black. You can, sky's the limit on colors. They've got a lot of different colors to choose from. You can do purple, black, yellow, whatever. So whatever you prefer, order your custom quilt, kind of fit your personality, that kind of thing. For me, I went with the 10 degree. It worked out nicely 95% of the time. Now, if I had it to do over again, since I started on February 25th, what I probably would have done is started with a sleeping bag for those 20 degree, those high teen nights, and then transitioned over into my quilt because I tend to roll a lot at night. I've had shoulder surgery in the past, so I've got some shoulder issues I'm dealing with, and I have to roll about every 30 minutes. So if that's you, you might want to consider going with the sleeping bag because that way when you roll, the bag comes with you and the compressed down kind of refluffs, if you will, comes back together so you don't have that quick draft coming through like you do with the quilt, because of the quilt, when you roll, there's a gap and the air flows in, and there you go. Now you're stuck with cold air and you got to get warm again by tucking everything back under. So pros and cons. Just try it out before you go, whatever you decide. Get you a quilt, get you a sleeping bag, take them out in some cold weather and see which one works best for you that you're most comfortable with. For my sleep pad, I went with the Neo Air X-Therm. This thing was great. I didn't have to worry about cold underneath me as far as the X-Therm pad went. Now, I will say I wish I had something with a little bit more cushion. This pad wore out on me around the valve when I got up to Connecticut. So I ended up replacing it with a cheap Walmart foam pad, which was basically useless in my opinion, for me anyway. I wouldn't recommend that. But this pad is great for 99% of people if you want to fork out the money. Again, it's expensive, 250 plus bucks here, depending on the size you get. They've got a new version out now where they improved the R value just a little bit, but I don't even think they had to do that because, like I said, I was out there in the teens and the pad did a great job. I just want something that's a little bit more comfortable. So of these big three, if I had to change anything, it would be the sleep system. I might would have opted for the sleeping bag early, and I might would have chosen a pad that's a little bit heavier, but would perhaps give me a better night's sleep. I would be willing to carry an extra pound to get a better night's sleep because I really had a problem. For most of my through hike, I would go to bed around 8 o'clock, wake up at midnight, and then really struggle to go back to sleep after that, and just typically get up around 5, start packing everything up and start hiking by 6 was kind of the way things went. But it adds up after a while. You can't wait to get to town, sleep in a hotel or stay at a hostel and get a little bit better rest, that kind of thing. So something to consider. If you're counting those grams right now and you really want to stay light, just make sure that the sleep system you have is adequate for you and that you're going to be able to be comfortable, because there's no reason that you should suffer for 2,000 plus miles when it comes to getting rest at night, because you're putting in all these miles, you're going to be tired. So really consider, do you want to really go with the lightest, or do you want to maybe go with something that's maybe 4 inches thick that weighs a little bit more? And now there's tons of companies on Amazon offering pads in the $30 to $50 range. You could order a few of those and try them out. Maybe you get lucky and one of those fits you. And that way, if it ends up giving out on the trail, you could just go into town and get you another one from Amazon pretty quick probably. I was disappointed that this one gave out when I got to Connecticut, considering the price of it. And it was right around the valve. I couldn't figure out how to get it fixed. I tried gluing it and using a patch kit and everything else, but I just couldn't get it fixed. So go figure. Now, these pads do come with a pump sack. I will mention that, and I'll say definitely carry that. It serves two purposes. You don't have to blow this thing up like a wolf. You don't have to huff and puff and blow your brains out trying to get that thing filled with air. You're not putting all that moisture from your mouth inside your sleep pad. And then you can use it for a laundry bag when you get to town. You can stuff all your laundry inside and you can haul it over to the laundromat. So it came in pretty handy for that too. So yeah, so that's my big three. Let me know what you're carrying. If you're using these products that I've had, let me know about your experience, good or bad maybe. Just leave that in the comments. Thanks for stopping by today. Thanks for watching the videos. If you haven't checked out my other videos from the AT, you can check out the playlist. If you found this information to be useful today, please consider giving this video a thumbs up, and or please consider subscribing to the channel if you're very interested in researching, hiking and that kind of stuff, backpacking, because I'm going to be putting out more videos as I go. I'm also going to share the other gear that I took in a separate video, and I've done a video, a very short video on the clothes that I wore. It's just kind of some music playing and kind of shows you what I had on, but I'm going to go back and do a more in-depth talk about the clothes and why I chose what I chose and some options you have there. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time.